Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be discussing about day-old chicks and then brooded birds. Very many people out there want to start poultry farms but are not yet satisfied with which one they should start with. Is it the day-old chicks or the brooded birds? Well, in today's video, I'll be sorting you out on which one you should start with. Day-old chicks are birds that are hatched and sold at an age not more than 1 day. And brooded birds are birds that are sold immediately after brooding them. And usually, it takes 2 weeks to brood broiler birds, while it takes 1 month for the layers. This is because the broilers grow very fast compared to the layers. Before we move further, if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Jacob, a passionate farmer about poultry keeping. On this channel, we talk about poultry farming in general, whether being the ducks, the geese, the guinea fowl, the local chicken, the broilers, the layers, kienyeji, any kind of poultry, you will find it on this channel. So if you have been one of the people that have been looking for channels that can teach you on how you can run your poultry farm successfully, then you're in the right area. But before, you must subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video. Thanks for doing that. So guys, the first advantage of buying day-old chicks is that if you want your poultry farm to run successfully for many years, then you must go for the day-old chicks. Because with this, you will get enough knowledge in handling these birds right from day-old chicks to the point that you will be selling them off. For example, you will get enough knowledge in brooding your birds. What you will need in brooding your birds, you will all know all the things. Come to the vaccination, come to the feeds that you will be giving your birds, you will have the right knowledge about the things. So by the time you will be expanding your farm, you will be in position to know all of these things, and running your farm will be very easy. Unlike if you want to start with the ones that are already brooded, you will not have this information at all. You will not know which things are required in brooding your birds. That way, it will limit your expansion in future. But if your desire is only to make money within the shortest period of time, then it's okay. You can start with the ones that are already brooded, since you will be getting your money within the shortest period of time. Number 2 is that day-old chicks are very cheap compared to the ones that are already brooded. Like for instance, I will give you an example in my country. A day-old chick, a broiler bird, costs around $0.6, whereas the ones that are already brooded cost around $2.7. So you can see the huge difference, $2 difference, which is a big money. So if you are looking at the money, then day-old chicks is a little bit more cheap compared to the ones that are already brooded. With day-old chicks, you will have the right and clear record of your birds. With this, a farmer will know exactly when his birds have been vaccinated or not. The farmer will know exactly which kind of feeds is feeding his birds, since he will be the one that's running the farm himself. Things like the biosecurity of the farm, you will also know it, because you will be having first-hand experience with these birds. Unlike in the brooded birds, whereby you will never know whether the birds have been vaccinated or not, which feeds have that previous farmer been giving the birds, you will not know, and it is now worst in layers. The person selling you will say that these birds are 15 weeks, and yet the birds may sometimes be 10 or 11 weeks. So you may take them to your farm and expecting them to start laying at a point, and you will be disappointed. On the contrary, brooded birds are very cheap compared to the day-old chicks. Why? First is that in terms of brooding these birds is very difficult, right from the materials that you will use in the brooding. Like for instance, let me say charcoal. If at all you will be using charcoal as the source of heat, come to stoves, come to light, all these things are very expensive. And if you are now to weigh them, you will find that buying brooded birds is sometimes good compared to the day-old chicks, where it will be very expensive. The next advantage of brooded birds is that it has a quick and high rate of turnover. What do I mean by this? Let's say you're now doing broiler birds. These birds are kept for a maximum of 2 months. 2 months, and at some point I've seen very many farmers now doing 28 days to 35 days. The bird has gained its market weight. Let's say that you buy brooded birds which have been brooded for 2 weeks, which is 14 days. That means that you only have less than 20 days to sell off your birds. That's why I say that it has a quick rate of turnover, or its rate of turnover is very high. Now let's assume that you will now be doing this in batches, which means that you will be getting very many profits within the shortest period of time. With birds that are already brooded, you will have low chances of your birds to mortality. As we all know, birds usually die at a high rate during the brooding stage. But if you are now to buy birds that are already brooded, which means that the chances of your birds dying are very, very low compared to the person that has bought birds when they are still young or at day old. The other worst side of buying day-old chicks is that you won't be in position to know the exact breed and quality of the birds that you will be getting, unless the person that is supplying you with the birds is a honest person. At this point, even if we are to bring 3 breeds of chicken, like broiler, layers, and then the local chicken, and we put them all together, you will never identify that this chick is a broiler or a layer, because they all look the same. So that is one of the worst sides of buying day-old chicks. And at some point, it usually happens to farmers who take their eggs to an incubator. These are farmers who don't have incubators. At some point, I had a scenario which happened in my country, where a farmer took his eggs to an incubator. This farmer was doing local chicken, but since the local chicken are of high demand, they switched his eggs with the broilers because these birds look alike. By the time this farmer realized, it was 1 month and it was too late. That's why I say that honesty is one of the factors that we should consider in business. We should look for people that are really, really honest. That way we can do business with these people. But if a person who is not honest, then leave that person. Just leave him, because at the end you will be the one suffering. The next thing is that these day-old chicks are very difficult to transport. If the person supplying you with the birds is from a far distance, in case of heavy rains, strong sunlight, breakdown of the vehicle, you may lose most of your birds, because these birds are still weak. They cannot resist these kind of conditions. But if you are to buy birds that are already brooded, they have that immunity that can fight or resist these kinds of conditions. That way, even if it happens, you may lose some of your birds, but not as much as you will lose when you buy them at day old. And lastly, which is also still about being honest, some suppliers do not give the first vaccine to the day old chicks, which is the Merex vaccine. At some point, I had a friend who bought 500 chicks. 500 chicks, but this supplier did not vaccinate these birds with the Merex vaccine. Oh my god, my friend lost over 300 of his birds. 300 of these birds. Imagine now you find a supplier who does this to you. How will you feel? That's why I normally tell you guys that if you want to buy day-old chicks, first go to somebody who is honest, and then second, look for a company that has stayed for so many years in the business. And more so on that, let's not look at the prices of the chicks. At least you should go for the ones that are very expensive but of good quality, other than buying the chicks that are of low quality with low prices, because at the end you are the one who will suffer the most. More so on that, you must also know the breeder of your farm that you will be getting. Like the parent stock, how is the parent stock raised, the biosecurity of that parent stock, that matters so much. So guys, with this information, I'm sure that you can now make up your mind on which one that you should start with. But in my opinion, if I'm to give you an advice, I suggest you should start with the day-old chicks, because as you want to start your farm, you don't want your farm to collapse within a year or two. You want your farm to last for so many years. So you must start with day-old chicks. That way it will give you enough knowledge and experience on how you can handle your birds. By the time you will expand your farm, you will be having enough knowledge and enough experience in handling these birds. Otherwise, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel so that you can be one of the family members in this poultry farm. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.